What's good, my Phenom family? Hope you're feeling absolutely freaking phenomenal. My name is Chris Eddie, and guys, in today's video, I will be teaching you how to become a trillionaire. Yes, I said that right. How to become a trillionaire. Now, I do need to point out that this one is a little bit more tailored towards iOS devices, but if you have seen my previous video on iOS as well as Android, you will be utilizing some form of glitching tool or modifying tool. So with Android, you will be checking right up there, and that will be taking you over to how to basically do it with Game Guardian. And for my iOS users, you will be using DLG Injector, and that video will be linked right up there as well. Now, I just need to point out with Android, it is a lot more easier to basically effectively do this glitch because you can actually touch your money directly. With iOS, it's a little bit different because you're not actually able to really touch some of the currency directly. There is a way of how you can do it, but it involves maybe using proxies, and that's a whole different thing we don't need to go into. Now, for some time now, a lot of you guys have been asking me, how do I get billions and trillions of dollars in a very short period of time? And my real answer is basically the lottery method. Now, I just need to say that this glitch was actually found more recently, and this is not what I've been doing in order to make trillions and billions of dollars, but I will intend to start doing this more often because I will be saving myself so much more times. But if you do want to understand how to do the lottery method, or better yet, how to understand how to beat the lottery every single time when you go to play at the casinos, make sure you check that video out right up there as well. Now, once you actually have the DLG repo installed, all you have to do is just go into your settings, turn it on for BITLIFE, and then close the BITLIFE application and then restart it with the now DLG Injector on. Now that you have it set up, all you want to do is just use an existing account or just start a new account and just age up to the age of 18 where you're allowed to basically gamble, or basically live in a country that allows you to gamble in the first place. Now head over to the casino. It does not matter which casino you so choose. Now all you want to do is just bet some form amount of money. You don't need $1 million to do this right out the gate. Honestly, $800 can work just fine. $500 can work just fine. I don't think you can really do this well with, I think, $100, but I'm not too sure. I haven't really ever did it with just $100. Now for this next part, just make sure you're paying close attention because this might get just a little bit confusing. Now all you have to do is start to bet with some form of money. You can keep it as a low number. You don't have to break the bank on this one. Now, as an example, you can bet $300 on this first hand, and then from there, as the hand is being played, now all you want to do is open up the DLG tool itself and then type in the currency you just put on the line. So now our example was $300. We will now go and search for 300. Now once you get your search results, just click off of the DLG tool itself, and then from there you can just play out this hand. Now if you win or lose this hand, it really doesn't matter. Now moving on to part 2 of this method, all you have to do is make sure you do not leave the casino at any point during this time. What you want to do now is just bet a different number on the next hand. Now don't type in 300 again. Don't bet anything too crazy high, even though you might have higher odds of actually finding the number. Just bet something again within your price range. Now for an example, we will say you went from 300 on your first hand, and now on the second hand you decided to bet $100. Now proceed to bet that $100, and then from there you just do the exact same thing. Just open up the DLG tool, and then from there you just now search 100 into the next search results. Do not hit reset on your search tool, and pretty much you should be able to find it in no time. And basically you should be given some form of search results. Now typically I've only been received one back at a time. You might receive several, up to like 18 or 20, and if that's the case, then all you have to do is just essentially rinse and repeat the same method in the beginning. Just change the currency after the next hand, and then from there, that's when you will be able to actually find it with the next one. Now don't try to search the one that I have on screen because your numbers actually might be different within your source code itself. Moving on to the actual modification part itself. Once you actually have your number spit back to you, all you want to do is click on that M itself, which basically stands for the memory of it, and then you're allowed to actually change the currency of the number. Now I've done some research, in the game does in fact have a cap before it turns into a negative currency. This is basically the cap rate that the numbers from the developers give you, so that way you basically don't go overboard. Now, they don't intend for you to actually ever reach these numbers. Obviously, we have reached these numbers more than enough, but anything past that, the game will basically go default, and from there, it would be set back to a negative currency instead of a positive currency. So this is the part that I wanted to get you to understand correctly, because this is very important. Do not go in and press 999999999 a million times. That is not going to work well. It does have a cap rate. Now, it may tell you on the DLG tool itself what your cap rate is, but you have to understand that varies from game to game. So we want to take the best version of that and say, let's play it safe, but let's still make a lot of money in the process. Now, if you watched that previous video that I did have, I actually did say that number, and I will have it listed right here to make sure that you guys are able to just type it in from being on screen. So again, this is the safe number. Anything past that may result in you actually owing that money instead of having that money. If you understand that concept, if you tend to go past this number, you may have a negative balance of that instead of a positive balance of that. Now, once you've typed in the number that is here on screen, all you have to do is just click back on that M button, and then from there you can close out the DLG tool once more, and then just play out this hand. Now, if you win this hand, you will actually receive that number. Now, this number will in fact be double because this was the number that was put online. Now, if you inputted this $2.4 billion, you should receive anywhere between 3 or 4 billion plus after that. Now, this last part of the hack is where it becomes quite deadly within your hands. Now, anything from here on, you can actually just bet $1 hands. Now, the reasons why you want to do that is because if you bet $1 hands, you actually have higher odds of winning versus betting $10 million hands. So I hope you understand that. Just note that every hand from this moment on is in fact a reset. So anytime you place a bet of $1, just make sure before you actually attempt to beat this person, the dealer in this case, you make sure that you go back into your DLG, you click on the M, and then just click on the M again. And basically it will be fully registered that you just modified that number. Now, if you lose the $1 hands, don't worry. It'll tell you that you lost the full $2 billion, but in reality, you only lost $1 because that's what was bet in the first place. Now, if you can understand that concept, you, my friend, are about to become a trillionaire, because you can walk in, bet $1, and actually win $2 billion hands every single time. Like I said, it will tell you you would have lost that money. In reality, you, my friend, actually just won that money. Just a side note, I said this a million times, but during this entire transaction, make sure you do not leave the casino, because if you leave the casino once, you will have to do this entire setup over and over and over again. But just note that all you have to do is just rinse and repeat this method, and you, my friend, yes, you can become a trillionaire within possibly like 10 minutes if you just really grinded this thing out. And just one last thing I need to stress is to make sure that within every single hand that you understand that that is a reset for your hands, and that way you would always go back to your DLG injector, click on the M, click back on the M, and then just finish playing the hands. Now, in some situations, you might actually get 21 out the gate, so just be mindful, and if you want to win those hands, just make sure you're clicking that DLG tool way quick when it's basically being played. So it's kind of hard to figure out when they're going to do it, but just be aware of that and just kind of stick to that. And just like that, guys, that is exactly how you become a trillionaire rather quickly. If you really just wanted to grind this out, you could probably do this within 10 minutes. So just keep that in mind, as well as knowing that you have the DLG tool. Have fun, go modify your subscribers, go modify your followers, do whatever, modify your age for all I care. Just have fun with it. That's honestly, I just want you to do is just have fun with this. And as a reward for you guys making it this far, I will give you a quick brief office tour of how the place looks as of right now. And this is the official office. It is a hot mess as of right now, but we have some cool stuff that's going to be coming. That panel actually fell, so don't worry about that. This is my light. This is my setup. The PC is over there. I actually was able to put the Nona Leaf up. I haven't put it in any videos because I'm having a hard time connecting it to my phone, so the colors are kind of just doing its own thing. And then, of course, we have our lovely banana light. But more to come on here. This is just a quick briefing on the actual office itself. So thank you guys. I just want to say thank you guys once more, and don't forget to subscribe down below, as well as hitting that little notification bell just so you get notified every time I put a video out like this, guys. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.